The trailer begins with presenting the production company, gunslinger and distributor logo Revolver Entertainment Clips. This strictly follows conventions of real-life media products. I also chose to use Gateway Films to take part in the production of the film. By using all three of these different institutions, it makes audience aware this is a film of a British social realistic genre. Other film trailers I've analysed use a combination of these institutions at the beginning of their trailer, thus I placed it here, developing this convention into my own product. My opening shots are establishing shots of a variety of locations in a gritty working class area. I chose to do a time lapse of both cars moving and showing the sunset at the beginning of the trailer, as I thought it is important to give my audience an insight on the lifestyle of working class citizens and locations of an urban setting. Once the establishing shots are finished, I have shown a different shot introducing the main protagonist coming out of the police station, which is a syntactic element creating a plot which will allow the audience to come to a conclusion. I have a sound bridge over this shot, playing a soundtrack and dialogue.
This ain't the life I chose. I'm out. I'm done.
This is a convention I have developed from both Ill Manners and Scare, as often the characters speak over a mismatched shot, creating sound bridges and contrapuntal sound. I used a jump cut within this shot to fast-pace the editing. I also recognise the jump cuts are quite conventional, as it was shown in the sketch trailer at the beginning, where the main female character is walking. Immediately after, the camera cuts on the same character walking in a park alone that may create a lonely atmosphere. I decided to add in a still image with a caption, 5 years locked up, so the audience understand part of the narrative. From further researching and analysing other trailers, this was not necessarily a conventional idea, however I decided to use it to create a unique effect on my trailer. Immediately after this shot, a fade in and out effect produces text from mtv.co.uk, which are mainstream press that specialises in music videos, film reviews and other features for a younger audience. This concept was a convention I had used from the Ill Manners trailer. I had also developed it by adapting the white centralised house style on my own shot. I had done this so the text stood out from the time-lapse in the background, making it easier for my audience to read the text given. I have used conventions from social realism films and real-life media products in general by keeping the colour of the font consistent throughout my trailer. Having this shot depicting this item early in my trailer quickly shows audiences who are within my target market of social realism fans, as they would frequently use these type of sites. The review quote also shows the overall popularity of my film and the media hype surrounding my production, which is a conventional aspect I had used in my own product. The camera cuts onto an over-the-shoulder shot, which introduces the audience to a new character. I'd used both dialogue
You back in business now, yeah?
and a soundtrack over the shot to keep the audience entertained, and the dialogue is an introduction to the beginning of the plot. Intentionally, the audience cannot see the other character's face to whom this character is speaking to, so it creates conclusions. The initial stages of the non-diegetic soundtrack are played throughout these shots. It is a fast-paced, urban-type music that creates a tense, edgy atmosphere. This uses typical conventions of films of a social realism genre, as fast-paced music creates nerve danger. A medium shot of the new character introduced shows the audience he is on the phone, and in the background the non-diegetic soundtrack is playing over it. I had used asynchronous sound over two shots, as there is a discrepancy between the things heard and the things seen. This conveys a symbolic significance between the character on the phone and the main protagonist running away from gritty buildings. The dialogue
Yo, is it true that you turned on us after everything?
conveys some sort of narrative followed by Todorow's theory, as the audience are starting to discover the disruption cause which links these two characters together. The cause of the scenario is a character turning on his own mate, and the effect is him escaping from reality. I've developed the convention of showing a cause and an effect in my own product, as it keeps the audience entertained and left clueless. This conventional technique I used is also done in other social realism films such as Adulthood and One Day and other real-life media products. In towards the middle of the trailer, I've used a side view shot of a young female character gazing at a pregnancy test in a bathroom. This ideology is shown to create some sort of narrative which may disrupt the storyline. The following cross-dissolve shot shows the same character crying and placing her head within her knees on the floor. Here I've used a genre convention which is shown in every social realistic film. These two shots stereotypically describe the character's weak and inferior as she is lonely and vulnerable. Over these two shots is dialogue.
Don't care, it's either them or the baby.
This creates enigma codes theorised by Roland Barthes, as the audience do not know who this female character is referring to. Later on in the trailer, there's an over-the-shoulder shot of a female character slapping the male protagonist. This gains pleasure of the genre for audiences. Rick Altman theorised that genre offers audience this, and one type of pleasure can be intellectual puzzles. This type of shot offers audiences pleasure in trying to unravel a mystery or a puzzle derived from deciphering the plot and forecasting the end or being surprised by the unexpected. I developed this convention into my own product as I discovered in parts of the montage editing other films such as Ill Manors uses to create enigma and to excite the audience. The camera then fades into a different shot of the main protagonist on a bed, dealing drugs. The ideology of the drugs mainly sums up the genre to do with social realism. This is a typical convention of a syntactic element I've used of a drug addict who is trying to make a better life for himself. However, there are obstacles in his life preventing this. The mise-en-scène and clothing he is wearing is quite shabby and cheap, which is a convention I've developed in my own product, as I discovered films of the social realism genre involves working-class citizens. The following shot consists of the tagline shown in both the poster and website, which reflects this as a cross-media package and shows familiarity. When I had analysed Ill Manors, I discovered their tagline was shown at the beginning of the trailer. This is a conventional piece I've developed in my own product. Towards the end of the trailer, I've used continuity editing of a cutaway shot showing a gang running. In films of the social realism genre, it is conventional to show an urban tribe, members of small groups which have similar behaviour and dress sense. These representations of gangs are encoded into the mass media text in order to reinforce dominant ideologies of men in society. At the end of the trailer, there is a low-angle medium shot
There's no way getting out of
a character pointing his gun towards the camera and showing direct address. The ideology of this is to create tension and confuse the audience as they do not understand who he's going to kill and why, which conveys enigma codes. The non-diegetic sound of the gun emphasizes death, and by using this prop I developed the conventions as a typical mise-en-scène prop used within social realism films. After this shot, the title of the film, billing block, and social network feeds come up. This is a conventional layout to how I place these features, as I've discovered other real-life media products also do this.